और आप अपने स्ट्रीम को बिल्कुल
Hello. Hello. I guess it seems good as of now. India's solar energy potential. Okay. Recently, the Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy launched the Solar Potential Assessment Report to realize India's Panchamrit scheme, 500 megawatt non-fossil fuel energy by 2030. Okay, 50% total energy requirement from renewable energy by 2030. 45% carbon intensity घटाना है by 2030 2005 industrial level. Net zero to 71 billion ton carbon emissions should be reduced. Solar PV potential. It refers to the estimated capacity of an electricity generation under solar photovoltaic technology. Okay, so that PV means photovoltaic. It refers to the estimated capacity of electricity generation using solar photovoltaic technology in a given region or country, considering solar radiation availability, land use, and technical feasibility. So, solar PV potential is the capacity of a electricity generation using solar photovoltaic technology. सेवा पर्व 17th Sep 2nd October 2025. Solar photovoltaic potential of India. Photovoltaic potential. Estimated capacity of electricity generation using solar photovoltaic technology. Key findings: solar potential. Okay, that's this gigawatt potential. Using 6.69 of identified wasteland. Solar cell लगा देंगे on those land which are wasteland, not in use. Gigawatt peak. Okay, it means gigawatt peak. Maximum solar output under standard test conditions. High resolution. अरे तो कैसा दिख रहा है? Use high resolution geospatial mapping, land use and sharing analysis, and proximity to infrastructure. Regional spread: Rajasthan and Gujarat leads. Definitely they have got vast land for use. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh are also showing high potential. Policy relevance: offers an investment ready framework for site selection. About solar energy. Solar energy derived from the sun and converted into thermal and electrical energy. It is the cleanest and most abundant, definitely most abundant renewable energy source available. Technology used: photovoltaic. PV cells convert sunlight directly into electricity. Concentrated solar powers. Mirrors concentrate. Okay, either mirror, either mirror, either mirror. Sunlight concentrated over this point, this point, this point. Mirror concentrates solar radiation to generate high temperature heat for power production. India's initiative to promote solar energy. PM Surya Ghar Yojana, Muft Bijli Yojana provides up to 300 unit monthly free electricity. In Bihar, it's to 125 units. Not this one, but Bihar government provides something. Rooftop solar program, yes, using it. Central Financial Assistance. प्रधानमंत्री किसान ऊर्जा सुरक्षा एवं उत्थान महाअभियान पीएम कुसुम सोलर पंप्स. प्राइम मिनिस्टर किसान ऊर्जा सुरक्षा एवं उत्थान अभियान महाअभियान. Solar Park Ultra Mega projects 53 parks sanctioned, 26 operational. Okay, PLI scheme for high efficiency modules, strengthening domestic manufacturing, ingots, wafers, cell modules, and reduces import dependence. International leadership, International Solar Alliance, yes, ISA, 2015, India and France. आवाज कम कर दो ना. 1 trillion by 2030. One sun, one world, one grid. OSOWOC aims to connect global solar grid based on the sun never sets. Policy and regulatory support. 100% FDI permitted to solar sector. Interstate transmission system. Bihar, Jharkhand. Waiver for project commissioned up to June 2025. Okay. It is all under some schemes. Quality standard for solar PV systems. Basic custom duty on imported solar cells to boost. Basic custom duty. Used numerous times. India's current clean energy achievements. Installed capacity 50% of power from non-fossil fuel 5 years ahead of. Okay. Wind power. 4th globally. Wind power generation. Manufacturing strength. 20 plus giga wind turbines and 100 gigawatt solar PV modules annually. Trading instruments. Renewable energy certificate. Market based instrument issued for 1 megawatt hour of electricity generated from eligible renewable source used to promote renewable energy and electricity. Renewable purchase obligation. Mandatory requirements for DISCOMs, captive power producers and open access consumers to procure a minimum share of renewable energy annually. Okay, it makes it mandatory for an individual to buy. If they need electricity, they must have that from renewable energy source. Good. These are two nice things like renewable energy certificates and renewable purchase obligation. Renewable energy certificate. Okay. UN Water Development Report 2025. The United Nations Water Development Report, titled Mountains and Glaciers Water Towers, emphasizes growing risk posed by climate change to global water resources. Critical resources. Mountain meltwater supports drinking water, sanitation, food security, energy, and ecosystem health for billions. Global impact. Retreating glacier threat. Retreating glacier threaten water and food security of 2 billion people worldwide. These are the risks associated with glacier melting and climate change. UN Water. It is the United Nations Interagency Coordination Mechanism for all freshwater and sanitation related issues. 2003. Water. 2003. To support and accelerate program on water related sustainable 6. Sustainable Development Goal 6. Clean water and sanitation for all. Report published UN World Water Development Report. Global Analysis Assessment of Sanitation and Drinking Water. Sustainable Development Goal 6 Synthesis Report. World Water Day 22nd March. Raise awareness about sustainable water management. Highlight global water challenges. Theme glacier preservation. Okay. Compressed biogas and potash granules project. India's first cooperative based compressed biogas (CBG) and spray dryer potash granule project was inaugurated at Kopargaon, Maharashtra. Promoting circular economy practices. India's first cooperative based CBG and potash project in Maharashtra. 12 tons of compressed biogas, 75 tons of potash granules from jaggery byproducts. Potash granules. Fertilizers rich in potassium produced by spray dryer technology. Improve soil fertility. Renewable fuel from anaerobic digestion of agricultural residue, animal dung, food waste and municipal solid waste. Reduces fossil fuel dependency and carbon emission. Anaerobic digestion. Okay. Sustainable aquaculture in mangrove ecosystem. Sustainable aquaculture in mangrove ecosystem. Aquaculture in mangrove is same. FAO has granted global technical recognition to Sundarban's same model for integrating aquaculture livelihood with mangrove conservation. An ecosystem-based climate adaptive aquaculture method that integrates mangrove conservation with sustainable livelihood in West Bengal Sundarban by Nature, Environment and Wildlife Society. Nature, Environment and Wildlife Society. Nice name. News. The project has been implemented across 29 hectares in Chaitar and Madhavpur, West Bengal. 5 to 3% mangrove coverage in aquaculture ponds. It uses mangrove litter as fodder for the monoculture of black tiger shrimp. It follows a community participatory approach with good aquaculture practices. Mission Amrit Sarovar. Phase 2 of Mission Amrit Sarovar has been envisioned to continue with renewed focus on ensuring water availability. Launched in 2022 by Union Government to construct or rejuvenate 75 ponds per district. To address water scarcity, to establish sustainable water resources beyond immediate needs. Pond specification. Each Amrit Sarovar will have minimum pondage of 1 acre. Okay. Water holding capacity should be 10,000 cubic meters. No separate financial allocation. Works are undertaken through coverage of existing schemes, Narega and 15 finance commission grants. Okay. So it is Amrit Sarovar. प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना, Jan Bhagidari community participation. India's first PPP green waste processing plant in Indore. Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. Indore is poised to achieve a major milestone in the launch of India's first green waste processing plant. Green waste. What is green waste? Biodegradable organic waste derived from plant, rich in nutrients and moisture. India's blue economy. The Ministry of Earth Science released a white paper titled Transforming India's Blue Economy, Investment, Innovation and Sustainable Growth. Unlock India's marine resources potential to sustain investment, research and ocean innovation to drive economic growth and environmental sustainability by 2035. Roadmap to investment focus, coordination, Blue Health Investment Help Desk. Annual progress dashboard, sustainable growth and environmental practice protection. Blue economy. It is defined as sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth. International alliances. International Blue Carbon Initiative. International Blue Carbon Initiative. Magical mangroves. Join the movement to combat climate change through preservation and restoration of coastal marine ecosystem, underlying the importance of protecting mangroves. Glow Litter Partnership Project. It seeks to assist fishing and maritime transportation industry in transitioning to a post-plastic world. Okay, Glow Litter. London Convention, a 1972 treaty on preventing marine pollution by discharging of waste and other materials. Looks good. Alliance for Blue Nature. It is an international collaboration with goal to advancing global program of action, GPA, global program of action. It aims to protect the marine environment from land-based activities. Blue carbon. Blue carbon refers to the carbon captured and stored in coastal and marine ecosystem. Marine protected areas, MPA, are designated zones in the ocean where human activities are regulated to protect marine ecosystem and their biodiversity. Blue hydrogen is a hydrogen produced from natural gas using steam methane reforming, but with the crucial addition of carbon capture and storage, CCS, carbon capture and storage technology to mitigate the release of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Blue hydrogen. Blue hydrogen is taken from natural gas, but the process also releases CO2. So we use CCS, carbon capture storage, to curb the CO2, and now we get green hydrogen. Ethanol blending fuel in India. The rollout of E20 petrol in India has raised concern over vehicle compatibility and risk of insurance claim denial for engine damage caused by using incompatible fuel blends. C2H2O5. C2H2OH. Ethanol is a renewable bio-based alcohol fuel produced through fermentation of sugar found in crops like sugarcane, maize and rice. It serves as alternative to fossil fuel, aiming to reduce greenhouse gas emission and dependence on imported oil. Source of ethanol production: first generation, sugarcane, maize, rice, SMR. Second generation, agricultural residue such as rice straw and corn cobs. Third, algae. Fourth, genetically engineered crops. Ethanol production process: fermentation. Sugars from feedstocks are fermented by yeast to produce ethanol. Distillation. The fermented mixture is distilled to separate ethanol from the component. Dehydration. The distilled ethanol is dehydrated and to remove water, producing anhydrous ethanol, sustainable for blending of petrol in India. Ethanol blending in India. Ethanol blending in India began in response to oil rises, aiming to reduce dependence on oil imports in 1970s. In 2003, launched ethanol blending petrol, EBP. Ethanol blending petrol, EBP. 2003 में just 5% ethanol blending. 2009 National Biofuel Policy. 2010 raised to 10% of ethanol blending, but slow progress was seen due to challenges like consistent ethanol production and distribution issues. In 2018, it is 20%. In 2025, it is 20% blending. By 2030, but in 2025 we achieved. National policy on biofuels to promote use of biofuel including ethanol. 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025 and 5% in biodiesel. In diesel by 2030, 5%. In petrol 2025, 20%. Ethanol blending petrol to reduce dependence on imports. Amendment in Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Yojana. Scheme extends timeline for implementation of scheme by 5 years. Financial support to advanced biofuel projects. India becomes third largest wind and solar power generation. India overtook Germany to become the third largest producer of electricity from wind and solar energy, according to Ember's Global Electricity Review. Global trends in electricity generation. Wind and solar together generates 50% of global electricity. Low carbon milestone. Accounted for wind and solar 10% of India's total electricity generation. Okay, just 10%. Nationally determined contributions commitment under updated NDC 2022. India committed 50% of its installed electricity capacity from non-fossil fuel by 2030. This is one of the Panchamrit scheme. Sustainable aviation fuel. Indian Oil Corporation plans to commence commercial production of sustainable aviation fuel by 2025. Aviation turbine fuel (ATF), commonly called jet fuel, is a type of specialized kerosene-based fuel and used to power aircraft equipped with gas turbines, jet engines, and turboprops. Drop-in fuel can be blended with ATF without modification to aircraft or infrastructure. Sustainable aviation fuel, also known as aviation biofuel, produced from renewable feedstocks is chemically similar to jet fuels. Feedstock sources: oil and fat, used cooking oil, algae oil, oilseed, and animal fat. Municipal solid waste: agricultural and forestry residue, bagasse, corn store, husks, straw. Sugar starches: crop-based input like sugarcane. Production of SAF under IOC. IOC collects used oil from hotels, restaurants, and food companies like Haldiram. Instead of being discarded after one use, this oil will be recycled into sustainable aviation fuel. By the end of 2025, IOC aims to produce 35,000 tons of SAF annually. Indian Oil Corporation. Okay. The output will be sufficient to achieve India's 1% SAF blending. 2027. Aviation emission. Aircraft emit water vapor, soot, sulfur aerosol, NO2, or any nitrous compound, forming contrails that intensify global warming. Decarbonization role. SAF extend the account for 60% plus global aviation emissions cut, up to 80% lower greenhouse gas. Algal bloom hotspots. A significant study conducted by Indian National Center for Ocean Information Technology (INCOIS) has identified 9 key algal bloom hotspots along India's east and west coast. What is algal bloom? Algal bloom is exponential growth of phytoplankton in a water body, often altering water color. Causes of this particular algal bloom: exponential growth of phytoplankton in a water body. Nutrient flux: increased nutrient from monsoon and coastal upwelling. Eutrophication: excess nutrient promoting algae and cyanobacteria growth. More common in summer or fall, but can occur year round. Turbidity: low turbidity enhances light penetration, aiding photosynthesis. Red tide: harmful algal bloom caused by toxin producing microorganisms, often called dinoflagellates, leading to oxygen depletion and toxin accumulation in marine life. Algal bloom hotspots in India: West Coast, Goa, Mangalore, Kozhikode. These are algal bloom coasts. Gopalpur, Kalpakkam, Park Bay, Gulf of Mannar. They are prone to algal bloom. What is phytoplankton? Like we got to know, exponential growth of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are microscopic floating plants. Microscopic floating plants found in aquatic ecosystem. The biomass of phytoplankton is analyzed by measuring chlorophyll A content. Okay. The significance of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton contribute to over half of the atmospheric oxygen. They play a crucial role in reducing global warming by absorbing human-induced carbon dioxide. They serve as the foundation of oceanic food chain. Their abundance act as bioindicators for accessing ocean health and ecosystem stability. CPCB report on polluted river sites. CPCB has released its 2023 assessment on polluted river sites. Tracks river health in 2-year cycle, focusing on biological oxygen demand as the key parameter. The earlier assessment was based on data from 2019. 2020 excluded due to pandemic. Polluted river location reduced from 815 to 807. That means just 8. Polluted river stretches decreased from 311 to 296. Okay. State-wise status of polluted river stretch. Polluted river stretch. Maharashtra got more polluted river. Biological oxygen demand. If greater than 30, most polluted. Highly polluted, moderate, low, least pollution, low intervention. Biological oxygen demand. Quantity of dissolved oxygen that the bacteria requires to break down. Quantity of oxygen required to break down the organic waste in water. It is measured in milligrams of oxygen per liter of water. Polluted river location. Biological oxygen demand greater than 3 milliliter indicates rising pollution. Polluted river stretch. 2 or more consecutive locations that exceed the BOD biological oxygen demand criteria in a single river is counted as polluted river stretch. Tannery waste. Tannery waste in Palar River. The Supreme Court has ruled against the unchecked dumping of untreated effluents by tanneries in the Palar River in Tamil Nadu. Vellore. Tanneries are factories where animal hides are processed and transformed into leather. The leather industry is one of the most polluting industry due to toxic chemicals used in processing. Environmental impact of tanneries: water pollution, groundwater contamination, soil degradation, health hazards. Palar River, also known as Palaru River in Tamil, means milk river. Palar river means milk. It begins with Nandi Hill located in Chikkalbarpura district, Karnataka. Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu goes like this. Ponni and Cheyyar river. Where is Palar river? This is Bhima river, Kaveri river, Krishna river, Godavari river. Oil spill. The sinking of Liberian flagged MSC Elsa cargo ship near Kerala coast on May 25 has raised environmental concern due to its oil and chemical spillage. What is oil spills? It is the accidental release of petroleum hydrocarbon like crude oil, diesel fuel, oil, bunker fuel into environment, typically water bodies. It is accidental release of petroleum hydrocarbons into environment, typically water bodies. Shipping accidents, offshore drilling leaks, pipeline rupture, refinery and storage facility leaks. Concern: severe environmental damage. Oil forms a sleek over water, like a layer of something over water. Blocks sunlight and disrupts photosynthesis in aquatic plants and phytoplanktons. Threat to marine biodiversity. Oil coats birds, feather and mammals' fur, destroying insulation, leading to hypothermia and drowning. Economic impact on livelihood. Fishing communities suffer immediate income loss due to fishing bans and contamination of seafood. Recent oil spillage in India. Chennai oil spillage 2017. Collision of two ships. Nagapattinam oil spillage. Pipeline leakage. Oil spill management in India. Indian Coast Guard. Central Coordinating Authority for Marine Oil Spillage Response in Indian Maritime Zone, excluding port limits. National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan. National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan 1996 defines the role, coordination mechanism and operational procedure for spill responses. Merchant Shipping Act 1958 provides statutory backing for liability. Environment Protection Act 1986 along with port specific regulations, preparedness and exercises, regular mock drills such as NAT Polrax test, interagency coordination. MARPOL, International Convention for Prevention of Pollution from Ships, was adopted in 1973 and revised in 1978. International Maritime Organization IMO treaty to prevent pollution from ships, including oil spillage. India is a signatory. OPRC Convention, International Convention on Oil Pollution Preparedness, Response and Cooperation. India is a party. Bunker Convention. This is interesting. Bunker Convention. Bunker Convention specially address liability and compensation for spills of bunkers oil from this ship, ratified by India in 2015. International Convention on Civil Liabilities for Oil Pollution Damage Liability. Chlorpyrifos pesticides. As global delegates prepared to gather in Geneva, Switzerland for major chemical safety summit, Indian experts have called for an immediate ban on chlorpyrifos. Chlorpyrifos, a broad spectrum organophosphate pesticide used to kill insects on crop. Classified as moderately hazardous by WHO, continues to be used on multiple crops, posing risk to farmer, consumer, future generation and ecosystem. Banned in or restricted in 40 countries. Exposure linked to neurodevelopment damage in children. pyriphos is a pesticide. Air pollution. WHO Conference on Air Pollution and Health. Recently, second global conference on air pollution and health was held in Colombia. More than 50 countries pledged to reduce air pollution health impact by 50% by 2040. Switzerland. WHO Conference on Air Pollution and Health. The Global Conference on Air Pollution and Health, accelerating actions for clean air, clean energy, and climate change mitigation. India's pledge. Commitment to reduce health impact of air pollution by 2040. Aligning with National Clean Air Program, strengthening air pollution and non-communicable disease surveillance. National Clean Air Program. Air Quality Life Index. The 2025 edition of Air Quality Life Index AQLI annual update has been published. Scientific tool that calculates how particulate air particles shorten human life expectancy. The impact of particulate matter 2.5 on human life expectancy. Developer Michael Grinstone, professor at the Energy Policy Institute, University of Chicago. Air pollution in India is India's most severe health threat, reducing average life expectancy by 3.5. University of Chicago. Bihar 5.6. 46% of Indians live in areas that exceeds even India's own weaker PM 2.5 limit. If particulate pollution globally met WHO standards, the average person would gain 1.9 years of life, adding 15.1 billion lives here worldwide. Bangladesh is the worst globally, with air 12 times dirtier than WHO limits. State of Global Air Report 2025. The State of Global Air Report 2025 has been released. State of Global Air Report. Each 2 million deaths together, more than 50% of global fatalities. Dementia and neurodegenerative diseases. Released by Health Effects Institute. State of Global Air Report. Global Air Report. In collaboration with University of Washington Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation. Global Burden of Disease. Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan Award. Indore secured the top spot in Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan of 2025. An annual survey conducted by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Vayu, Climate Change, under National Clean Air Program. It covers 130 National Clean Air Program cities each year to promote healthy competition and accelerate action to improve air quality. Top performer: Indore, Jabalpur, Agra, Surat. In 3 to 10 lakh, million plus, less than a million, it's Amravati. Less than 3 lakh, it's Devas, Madhya Pradesh. Chennai is the only big metro that met the acceptable limit by recording an annual average concentration. National Clean Air Program. Nodal Ministry, Ministry of Environmental, Forest and Climate Change, launched in 2019. National Clean Air Program 2019. Control of Pollution Scheme. A parliamentary standing committee flagged serious underutilization of pollution control funds under Control of Pollution Scheme 24-25. Concern on rising pollution. India's worsening air, water and noise pollution has been a global concern for 4 years. Control of pollution scheme, a central sector scheme, fully funded by central government. Monitor and control air, water, noise pollution. World Air Quality Report. World's most polluted capital, Delhi. 13 of the 20 most polluted cities globally are in India. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in January 2015, up to 40% reduction in national ambient air quality standards for particulate matter. National ambient air quality standards. Delhi air pollution. CIQM has implemented GRAP Stage 2 in Delhi NCR after air quality deterioration to very poor level. Air pollution. It is the contamination of indoor or outdoor air by chemical, physical, biological agents that modifies the natural characteristics of atmosphere. It is a tool. What is Air Quality Index? It is the tool for effective communication of air quality status to people in terms that are easy to understand. What is ZGRAP? Graded Response Action Plan. Graded Response Action Plan. It is a statutory framework that specifies stage-wise measures to be implemented to combat deteriorating air quality in National Capital Region. It provides pre-defined actions based on AQI. It was formulated by Environment Protection Authority, Enforcement Authority Commission for Air Quality Management. GRAP is divided into 4 stages corresponding to AQI. Okay. Poor, very pure, severe, severe plus. Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and Adjoining Areas Act 2021. Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. The commission must have a full-time chairperson with at least 15 years of experience in environmental protection and pollution control or 25 years of administrative experience. A study conducted on black plastic made products has highlighted their adverse effect on human health. High level of cancer causing hormonal disrupting flame retardant detected in the household black plastic products. Chemical identified is decabromodiphenyl ether. Decabromodiphenyl ether. Phased out in US over a decade ago, but still being used in India. How so? Safe exposure from items like black spoon, spatula is less than 1/10 of the EPA's recommendation. What is black plastic? Black plastic made from recycled electronic waste mixed with food grade plastics in use. Okay. Black achieved by adding carbon black. Carcinogenic. Carbon black contains pH, possibly carcinogenic. Global plastic pollution. Recently, the latest round of global plastic treaty negotiation in Geneva, Switzerland ended in a deadlock. The Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee for Global Plastic Treaty was held in Geneva. The first part of the 5th session took place in Busan in Korea. It is a legally binding. Okay, plastic treaty is legally binding. Common but differentiated response equity. Responsibility. Plastic Waste Management Rules 2009. Life Mission, One Nation, One Mission, and Plastic Pollution. Cloth Bag Vending Machine, Plastic Free Brudge Campaign, AI Power Waste Monitoring. E-waste crisis in India. India's e-waste volumes soar by 151% in 6 years, prompting urgent regulatory and systematic reforms. India is the third largest e-waste generator. E-waste includes discarded electrical and electronic equipments like mobile phones, laptops, refrigerant, mobile devices. It contains valuable metals such as gold, silver, and toxic substances like plastic, heavy metals. Methods to process e-waste. Landfillings. E-waste is dumped in lined pits, which are then covered with soil. Leaching toxic substances is a risk. Acid bath. Electronic parts are soaked in strong acid like sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, and nitric acid to extract metals. Generate hazardous acid waste. Risk of water source contamination. Incineration. E-waste is burned at high temperature, reducing volume and generating electricity or energy. Release of toxic gases such as dioxin, furans, and particulate matter, causing air pollution. Recycling. Valuable components like metals are recovered from dismantled e-waste and reused in manufacturing. Safer than other methods if done responsibly. Informal sector recycling pose health environmental risk. Reuse. Functional or repairable electronics are refurbished and redistributed, often under privileged community. Most eco-friendly method promote circular economy and extend product lifestyle. Extended Producer Responsibility (EPR). Extended Producer Responsibility assigns producer responsibility for the entire product cycle, including collection, recycling, and environmental sound disposal. Floor pricing refers to the minimum fixed price of EPR certificate that producer must purchase from registered recycler. Nanoplastic Health Impact. A recent study by Institute of Nanoscience and Technology, Mohali, reveals that nanoplastic generated from single-use PET bottles pose significant health risk for humans. Extremely small plastic particles, typically less than micrometer, form due to breakdown of large particles plastic waste. Land degradation. Desert soilification technology. Researchers at Central University of Rajasthan have successfully grown wheat in arid Thar desert using indigenous bioformulation based soilification technology. Desertification. Land degradation in arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid region due to climate variation and human activities. Land degradation. Decline in biological and economic productivity. What is desert solidification? A biotechnological and ecological process of converting barren desert land or desert sand into soil-like agriculturally productive land by modifying its structure, water retention capacity, and microbial activity. Desertification and degradation. Recently, Ministry of Environmental, Forest and Climate Change held national workshop at Jodhpur themed strategies for combating desertification and drought. World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought by UN. Restore the land, unlock the opportunities. Reduction or loss of biological economic productivity of land. Land degradation in arid, semi-arid, dry, subhumid caused by climatic variations. Water state restoration, Sukho Manjari, assisted natural regeneration, agroforestry, silviculture, joint forest management committee, self-help groups and farmer producer organizations, women led initiatives, मातृवन एक पेड़ माँ के नाम. About Green India Mission, National Mission for Green India, a part of National Action Plan on Climate Change. Expand trees covered by 5 million trees. Microeconomic ecosystem intervention in vulnerable landscape Aravali Western Ghat. 3.39 Annual afforestation of 2 million hectares to cover additional 12 million hectares by 2530.